Imagine waking up one day with no memory of who you are, or being trapped in a place so long the world forgets you even exist. What if you saw a missing person poster, and it was you? These aren't just stories from a mystery novel. They're real-life cases of people who vanished without a trace, only to resurface years later under the most shocking circumstances. Some were kidnapped, some disappeared by choice, and others, well, their return raised even more questions than their disappearance. From a young girl held captive for 18 years to a man who solved his own missing person case, these stories are filled with deception, survival, and mind-blowing twists. Get ready to uncover 15 of the most baffling disappearances, and even more astonishing reappearances. Let's dive into today's video. 15. Tanya Catch, missing in 1981, found in 2004. At 14 years old, Tanya Catch thought she had found solace in the arms of someone who seemed to care. Thomas Hose, a middle school security guard, befriended her during a turbulent time in her life. In 1981, Tanya was struggling with bullying at school and a chaotic home life. What started as small acts of kindness, a listening ear, small gifts, soon turned into something far darker. Hose manipulated and groomed Tanya until he convinced her to run away from home and move in with him. For the next decade, Tanya was held captive in Hose's home, forced to live under the alias Nikki Allen. She was confined to his bedroom, not allowed to go outside or attend school. Hose even forced her to document the abuse she endured in journals, which he later used to brag to others. Tanya was brainwashed into believing her family didn't care for her and that her life with Hose was her only option. In the early 2000s, Tanya was allowed limited freedom and began working at a local deli. There, she met Joe Sparrow, the store owner, and eventually confided in him about her true identity. Joe, whose son was a retired police officer, took action, leading to Hose's arrest in 2004. Tanya's reappearance shocked the world, and today, she advocates for awareness about grooming and manipulation, sharing her story to help others avoid the same fate. 14. Stephen Kabatsky, the time traveler. In February 1978, Stephen Kabatsky, a 24-year-old student at Hope College in Michigan, set out on a solo cross-country skiing trip near Lake Michigan. When he didn't return, authorities launched a massive search. All they found were his skis and backpack, neatly abandoned near the frozen shoreline. The tracks in the snow stopped abruptly, as if Stephen had vanished into thin air. 15 months later, Stephen reappeared 700 miles away in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. He had no memory of where he had been or what had happened during those missing months. He was wearing unfamiliar clothes and carrying a backpack filled with strange maps and guides. Theories about his disappearance range from dissociative fugue, a rare psychological condition, to more fantastical explanations like time travel or alien abduction. Stephen has remained tight-lipped, leaving his bizarre journey shrouded in mystery. 13. Jacqueline Kreckman and Melvin Uphoff, a love story wrapped in mystery. In September 1965, 18-year-old Jacqueline Kreckman left her 2 young children in the care of her parents, saying she was heading to a wedding. A month later, 31-year-old Melvin Uphoff told his wife he was stepping out to buy beer. Neither of them ever returned home. Their simultaneous disappearances fueled wild speculation. Jacqueline's car was found outside her home, but her packed suitcases were gone. Melvin vanished with his prized coin collection and his 1954 Oldsmobile, which was never recovered. The case went cold for decades until 2009, when authorities tracked down Jacqueline and Melvin, who had run away together to start a new life. While some hailed their story as romantic, others viewed it as a selfish betrayal. 12. J.C. Dugard, 18 Years of Darkness. J.C. Lee Dugard was 11 years old when she was kidnapped on June 10, 1991. Her captors, Philip and Nancy Garrido, held her captive for 18 years in a soundproof shed in Antioch, California. J.C. was subjected to unimaginable abuse and even bore 2 daughters by Philip. In 2009, Philip's erratic behavior during a visit to UC Berkeley raised suspicions, leading to J.C.'s discovery. Her reappearance was a global sensation, and she has since become a best-selling author and advocate for kidnapping survivors. 11. Natasha Ryan, the girl who hid in a wardrobe. In 1998, 14-year-old Natasha Ryan vanished without a trace. Police even charged a notorious serial killer with her murder, convinced she had met a tragic end. But Natasha was alive, hiding in the home of her older boyfriend, Scott Black. For 5 years, she remained in hiding, rarely venturing outside. In 2003, during the trial of the accused serial killer, a tip led police to Scott's house, where they found Natasha hiding in a wardrobe. Her reappearance stunned the nation. 10. Steve Carter, unlocking the mystery of his own past. Steve Carter always felt something was off about his past. Adopted as an infant in Hawaii, he grew up with nagging questions about his origins. In 2011, he stumbled upon a digitally aged image of a missing baby who looked eerily like him. After digging deeper, Steve discovered he was that missing baby, Mark's Panama Barnes, who had been abducted by his mother in 1977. Steve's discovery led to an emotional reunion with his biological father. 9. John Darwin, the canoe con man. In 2002, John Darwin faked his own death in a canoeing accident to claim life insurance money. For 5 years, he lived in a hidden property near his family home. His elaborate ruse unraveled in 2007 when he walked into a police station claiming amnesia. Photos of John and his wife vacationing in Panama during a supposed death exposed a fraud. Both were arrested and convicted, making this one of the most infamous cases of insurance fraud in British history. 8. Petra Pasicka, a woman who chose to disappear. In 1984, 24-year-old Petra Pasicka vanished from her university hostel in Germany. Police suspected foul play, but no body was ever found. In 2015, authorities discovered Petra was alive. She had chosen to vanish, living under a new identity for over 30 years. Petra had no desire to reconnect with her family, making her story one of the most puzzling cases of voluntary disappearance. 7. Julian Hernandez, the college application that exposed a 13-year secret. In 2015, Julian Hernandez discovered he had been abducted by his father in 2002. While filling out college applications, he found his social security number didn't match his identity. His school counselor uncovered the truth. Julian was a missing child from Alabama. His father was arrested, but Julian expressed love and respect for him, highlighting the complexities of their relationship. 6. Dr. William Bates, the doctor who forgot his own life. In 1902, Dr. William Bates, a prominent ophthalmologist, vanished without a trace. Years later, he was found working as a medical assistant in London, with no memory of his past life. The reasons behind his disappearance and amnesia remain a mystery. 5. Carlos Sanchez, the hermit doctor who vanished for 20 years. In 1995, Carlos Sanchez, a respected doctor from Spain, disappeared. He was found 20 years later living as a hermit in an Italian forest. Overcome by depression, he had chosen to disconnect from society. His story is a poignant reminder of the delicate balance between freedom and loneliness. For Lucy Johnson, the mother who walked away. In 1961, Lucy Johnson disappeared from her home in British Columbia, leaving behind her husband and 2 children. In 2013, her daughter discovered Lucy had fled an abusive marriage and started a new life. Her reappearance was bittersweet, as she expressed no regret about her decision to vanish. 3. Edgar Latchlip, memory lost and found. In 1986, Edgar Latchlip vanished from a psychiatric facility in Canada. In 2016, after 30 years, he began having flashes of memory that led him to discover his true identity. 2. Paul Fronczak, a baby stolen, a man seeking truth. In 1964, Paul Fronczak was abducted from a Chicago hospital. In 2012, a DNA test revealed he was not the Fronczak's biological child. His search for the truth led him to his biological family and the discovery of a twin sister who remains missing. 1. William Burgess Powell, the man with no past. In 2004, a man was found unconscious behind a Burger King in Georgia, with no memory of his identity. He called himself Benjamin Kyle. In 2015, forensic genealogists identified him as William Burgess Powell. solving a 30-year mystery of his disappearance. And that wraps up our journey through these astonishing cases of disappearance and reappearance. Which story shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more mind-blowing mysteries. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.